कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखं वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम् आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we have been discussing Sri Ramayana, the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. So far we have discussed up to the point of Lord Ramachandra meeting Hanuman and Sugriva. And we also saw yesterday that both Sugriva and Lord Ramachandra entered into a friendship with in front of fire in Agni Sakshi. They vowed each other to help each other and to become friends. They took a vow in the presence of fire as a witness. So today, let us continue what happened afterwards. So in today's session, we shall be mainly focusing on the friendship of Sugriva and also the servitude of Hanuman. How great a devotee was Hanuman, because Hanuman personally went to search Mother Sita, and by the empowerment of Lord Rama, he was successful in finding Mother Sita. And he also rendered varieties of other services for the pleasure of Lord Rama. So we shall see all of that in today's session. So let us continue to read. We are reading from the Balakanda of Sri Valmiki Ramayana, the first chapter, and text number 61. Sugriva Shankitaschasin Nityam Viryena Raghave. Sugriva was always doubtful of the strength of the descendant of Raghu. So after he became friends with Ramachandra, Sugriva talked about his problem, that his brother Vali was after his life, and to save himself, he was taking shelter of the Rishyamukha Parvata, where Vali had no entry because of a curse by a sage. So here it is said, Sugrivaha Shankitas cha asin Nityam Viryena Raghave. Raghava refers to Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra is called Raghava because he appeared in the dynasty of Maharaj Raghu. Just like Krishna is known as Yadava because he appeared in the dynasty of King Yadu. In the same way, Ramachandra is called as Raghava. So Sugriva was doubtful about the strength of Rama, whether Ramachandra will be really able to face Vali on the battlefield because Vali is so powerful. Does the arrow of Rama have sufficient power to kill my mighty brother Vali? That was the doubt of Sugriva. So let's see what happened after that. Text 62. Raghava pratyayartham tu dundubhe kayamuttamam darshayamasa sugrivo mahaparvata sannibham. To make Lord Rama understand Vali's strength, Sugriva showed him Dundubhi's gigantic body that resembled a great mountain. So here Dundubhi is a demon who was actually killed by Vali. This demon Dundubhi comes and challenges Vali for a fight. And both Dundubhi and Vali enter into a cave. And before entering into the cave, Vali would have instructed Sugriva that we both will be fighting inside this cave and you wait here outside. Saying this, Vali goes inside, following the Dundubhi Rakshasa into the mountain cave. And a fierce battle takes place between the two for a very long period of time, for about 2 weeks or so. And there is no. So Sugriva becomes very apprehensive whether Vali is all right or whether he is being defeated, he's being killed by Dundubhi Rakshasa. He becomes very apprehensive. And after some time, he sees a, a stream of blood coming out of the cave. And Sugriva assumes that it must be the blood of his brother Vali. He assumes that Vali was killed by Dundubhi Rakshasa. So he started fearing for his life. So he asked his other soldiers to close the opening of the cave with a huge boulder, thinking that the Dundubhi Rakshasa, after killing Vali, will come out and kill him and also create problems for everybody in Kishkinda. So, thinking in this way, he asked his men to close the opening of the cave with a big boulder. And then he comes out, he goes to his kingdom, to the palace. He greatly laments for his brother and he starts ruling the kingdom of Kishkinda in the absence of his brother. And after a few days, the battle still was continuing actually. Vali was not yet killed, nor was Dundubhi killed. And the battle continues for some more days. And after a long period of time, Vali was successful in killing Dundubhi Rakshasa. Dundubhi was a huge giant, and Vali killed him. And Vali comes out of the cave and he finds that the cave was actually blocked. And then he comes to the palace. He kicks the boulder, comes out of the cave. He comes to the palace and there he sees Sugriva seated on the throne. And Vali becomes very angry. He thinks that it was a conspiracy of Sugriva to actually have Vali killed by the Rakshasa so that Sugriva alone can enjoy the kingdom of Kishkinda. Sugriva tries to explain to him in so many ways, but Vali was not ready to hear to the explanations offered by Sugriva. And from that day onwards, Vali considers Sugriva to be his staunch enemy. Just a few months back, they were actually great brothers. They were loving each other so much. But because of a small communication gap, we see how the great relationship between Vali and Sugriva was destroyed in a few moments. And then Vali starts fighting against Sugriva. Sugriva could not actually offer a tough fight against Vali because he was weaker compared to Vali. Therefore, with the help of some of his followers who were his supporters, he leaves Kishkinda, escapes from Vali, and goes and lives on Rishyamukha Parvata because it was a curse on Vali by a sage that Vali cannot come to Rishyamukha Parvata. The moment he comes to Rishyamukha Parvata, he will die. So, fearing this curse, Vali did not come to Rishyamukha Parvata. Right? So, therefore, Sugriva was staying on the Rishyamukha Parvata along with Hanuman, who was his minister, and also the other Vanara supporters, soldiers. So, this was the problem faced by Sugriva. So, Sugriva explained all this to Ramachandra, and Sugriva wanted to know whether Ramachandra was competent enough to actually offer a tough fight against Vali. So, therefore, Sugriva shows to Ramachandra the huge body of Dundubhi, the corpse of Dundubhi, which was actually kicked by this Vali. Vali was so powerful that we come to know in the next shloka, that Dundubhi Rakshasa was killed by Vali. Not only that, but his body, which was so huge, resembling a mountain, was actually kicked by Vali with his foot. So that was shown by Sugriva to Ramachandra, just to give an idea to Ramachandra about the great strength of Vali. Text 63. उत्स्मयित्वा महाबाहुः प्रेक्ष्य महाबलः पादाङ्गुष्ठेन चिक्षेप सम्पूर्णं दशयोजनम्. Seeing the bones of Dundubhi, the mighty armed Rama of great strength smiled and with his toe kicked the body up and away to a distance of 10 yojanas. So the body killed by the Dundubhi Rakshasa's body that was actually killed by Vali was so huge like a mountain. And when Sugriva showed that body of Dundubhi to, to Ramachandra, to assure Sugriva that he need not worry, he is quite capable of fighting against Vali. What did Ramachandra do? Ramachandra, with his toe, with the toe of his feet, he kicked the body of Dundubhi, and that body flew away to a distance of 10 yojanas. One yojana is about 12 kilometers, and 10 yojanas means about 120 kilometers. So you can just imagine the mighty strength of Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra is called Bhagavan because he has got 6 opulences. And one of the 6 opulences is Viryasya, his immeasurable strength. He is so powerful. Of course, the Lord's power, the Supreme Lord's power is unlimited. It cannot be measured. He is Aprameya. Aprameya means one whose qualities and abilities are immeasurable. Therefore, he is called Aprameya. So, but in order to assure Sugriva that he is quite competent to fight against Vali, Ramachandra kicked the body of Dundubhi, which was like a huge mountain, with just the toe of his foot, and because of that kicking, the body of Dundubhi Rakshasa flew far away to as much as about 120 kilometers, 10 yojanas. Text 64. Bibhide cha punassalan saptaikena maheshuna girim rasatalam chaiva janayan pratyayam tada. Furthermore, with a single great bow, Ramachandra then pierced 7 sala trees, the mountain, nearby the mountain, and thus generating confidence in Sugriva. So one more thing that Ramachandra did to display his great strength and to assure Sugriva that he need not worry about Vali. What did he do? With his mighty bow, with one arrow, he shot an arrow, and there were 7 tala trees in a row. And Ramachandra's arrow, when he actually shot the arrow pierced through all the 7 tala trees at once. That means it entered the first tree and came out of the 7th tree, right? So that was the power of Ramachandra. We all know, we have studied in physics about dynamics, kinematics, we have studied where if there is a arrow or if there is a bullet which actually enters into, let's say, a tree, its velocity decreases, its momentum decreases when it comes out of the tree. If at all it is capable of piercing through the tree and coming out, definitely its velocity and momentum would have decreased. But here you see 7 trees, one after the other, which were so huge trees, the tala trees, Ramachandra pierced through one arrow. So that means Lord Ramachandra's power is immeasurable, right? And that is why Lord Ramachandra had got this one special name because of this incident of piercing the seven trees. He's called Saptatala Prabhetre, the one who pierced with a single arrow the seven Tala trees. So this was just an indication of how powerful Lord Rama was. And this generated confidence in the heart of Sugriva, right? This is what Sugriva also wanted, that he wanted to know whether his friend is capable of subduing Vali, who is so powerful. Let's proceed. Text 65. Tata Pritamanastena Vishwasta Samaha Kapihi Kishkindham Rama Sahito Jagama Chama Guham Tada. After this incident, that is, after the demonstration of Ramachandra's might in front of Sugriva, the great monkey Mahakapihi, Sugriva, became pleased in mind because of Rama's act and became confident of him. He became confident, right? Pritamanasaha, Sugriva was very pleased in his mind, and Vishwastaha, he became confident. At that time, he again went to the cave like city Kishkinda, this time with Rama, to challenge Vali. So, here we understand one important thing. Anyone who actually surrenders to Ramachandra and has complete faith in Lord's protection, he achieves two things. Just that is what is depicted in Sugriva's behavior. What happened to Sugriva? Two things we achieve if we surrender to Lord Ramachandra and become fully confident about his protection. First thing is Prita Manasaha. We become satisfied in our mind. We attain confidence. Vishwastaha means confidence. Our mind becomes pacified of all anxieties, and also we become fully confident about our safety. This is called Rama Raksha. Anyone who is under the protection of Lord Ramachandra, he need not fear any kind of danger. This is the assurance of Lord Ramachandra. Abhayam Sarva Bhuteshu. Ramachandra says, anyone who comes to me and once he declares, my dear Rama, from today I am yours. Tavasmi iti cha yachate. Tava asmi, I belong to you, O Rama. If one says this in front of me, Ramachandra says, from that day onwards, I give him complete protection. Right? Abhayam sarva bhutebhyaha. From all living entities, I give protection to such a surrendered soul. So, a person who is truly surrendered to the Supreme Lord becomes Pritamanasaha. He becomes joyful, he becomes completely carefree about his protection, and also Vishwastaha, he gains confidence in the Lord's protection. Text 66. Tato garjayad Dharivaraha Sugrivo Hema Pingalaha Tena Nadena Mahata Nirjagama Harishwaraha. After reaching Kishkinda, the best of monkeys, Sugriva, of a golden and reddish brown complexion, roared. Hearing that great roar, the lord of the monkeys, Vali, came out to face him. So, this time, Sugriva, being assured by Ramachandra that he would surely protect him and destroy his enemy, Vali, he came with great confidence in front of Vali. And he came out of the palace of Vali and he loudly roared. That means he was confident that now I'm going to conquer you because I have Ramachandra with me. And when Vali heard this roaring of Sugriva, he came out of the palace and he saw his brother standing there. The same brother had ran away out of fear earlier. He could not face Vali. He had ran away out of fear. But now he is standing so confidently, he is roaring in front of Vali. So this is something which astonished Vali also. And let's see what happened next. अनुमान्यत दातारां सुग्रीवेण समागतः निजघान च तत्रैनं शरणैकेन राघवः. When Vali came out, he consoled Tara and came to meet Sugriva in battle. The descendant of Raghu, Ramachandra, then killed Vali in that place with a single arrow. Now, as I told earlier also, this first chapter is just the synopsis of the entire Ramayana. So the entire incident of killing of Vali is very briefly explained in just two shlokas. Right? Previous shloka we saw Sugriva came with great confidence, challenged Vali. And in this shloka we are seeing that Ramachandra killed Vali. So let us try to little bit elaborate and understand this. In detail it is described in the Kishkinda Kanda, but we will try to see some important learnings also from this incident. First thing is, actually two times Sugriva goes to challenge Vali. So the first time he goes and he challenges Vali, and there is a fierce fight, duel between Vali and Sugriva, and Sugriva was not able to fight against Vali for a long time. And Rama would have told him that you don't worry, you challenge Vali, and I will shoot Vali with an arrow, and I will kill him. Now you may say, is this not injustice? Rama should have actually faced Vali. In front of him, he should have fought. Now, we should understand that Vali is anyway, he is a culprit. He has actually done a sinful activity of kidnapping the wife of Sugriva, which is actually one of the Mahapatakas, right? He has actually kidnapped the wife of Sugriva, which is actually something which is punishable by the king. And Ramachandra was the king. So therefore it was the duty of the king to punish the evildoer, right? So Ramachandra's killing Vali was actually a punishment that was given to Vali for his sinful activity. That is number one. Number two is, you see, Vali, later on when he was killed by Ramachandra and he realizes that it was Rama's arrow which shot him, he actually becomes sorry. Vali feels repentance for his sinful activities. And then he also surrenders to Rama. He asks for forgiveness. He said, whatever you have done is right. Vali did not have any grudge against Rama. See, another reason that is explained by the Acharyas is, Vanaras are not completely like human beings. They are semi-human beings. They are more like animals. So the laws that govern the human society do not apply to the animal society or to the Vanaras. Therefore, it was not wrong on the part of Ramachandra to kill Vali, because it was just like hunting out an animal. Because Vali was like, he's a Vanara, he's not a complete human being. And as I said later on, when Vali repents after being hit by the arrow of Rama, Rama says that I shall bring you back to life. And Vali refuses. He said, no, you have given me a good punishment, Rama. And it is also a great fortune for me because I have been killed personally by you. How many people in this world, how many creatures in this world get this opportunity of being personally killed by you, the Supreme Lord? Therefore, there is no need to bring me back to life. It is okay. So he says like that, and then he also admits his mistake, and then he happily hands over the kingdom to Sugriva. And before dying, he also hands over his son, Angada, unto the care and protection of Sugriva, saying that "Oh, my dear brother Sugriva, please consider this my son Angada to be your own son and take care of him nicely." So, in this way, he very happily, Vali gives up his body. So, so coming back to the story, what happened before the shooting of arrow? First time, Sugriva goes and challenges Vali, and Vali comes and fights. Sugriva becomes very uh, nicely beaten up by Vali, and Vali makes fun of him and sends him away. After nicely beating him, blue and black and blue, he sends him away. So don't ever show your face again to me like this, he says, and sends him away. And Sugriva comes back to Rama and says, "Oh, Rama, what is this? You told that you will shoot an arrow and you will save me. Why have you not saved me?" Then Ramachandra says, "See, both of you are twin brothers. You both look alike. So if I shoot, I could not make out who is Vali and who is Sugriva. So therefore, I could not actually shoot the arrow. I didn't want to, by mistake, shoot an arrow at you." This was the reason that Ramachandra gave. And then Ramachandra said, "See, this time you wear a garland." And he asks Rama to go and get a creeper nearby in the forest. And he makes a garland out of that creeper and asks Lakshmana to put that over the neck of Sugriva and says, "This time I will be able to recognize you, O Sugriva. You go again challenge your brother Vali. This time surely I will help you." So like this he says, and then the second time Sugriva goes, again challenges Vali. Now this time Vali's wife Tara, she she actually becomes a little alarmed. See, just now Sugriva was beaten black and blue. He was defeated by my husband Vali. Just now he went away, and again after some time he's again coming back with renewed confidence, right? So there must be something fishy about this. She tries to warn her husband Vali, and she also says, "I have heard that Sugriva has become a friend of the prince of Raghu dynasty, Rama, and I have heard that Rama is very powerful. He has killed so many demons in the Dandaka forest. And now he has come back again and he is challenging you. That means Rama must also have come with him to protect him. So, therefore, my dear Lord Vali, please do not go. Please do not go." She tries to convince uh, Vali so much, but Vali says, "No, if somebody challenges me for a fight, how can I refuse? I cannot refuse. I have to go." So finally he comes, and then with one arrow, Ramachandra kills Vali. Now, one important thing that the Acharyas explain: why did Ramachandra allow Sugriva to actually suffer so much in the first attempt? Why didn't he protect in the first attempt? Now, that is explained by the Acharyas. See, when first time when Rama and Lakshmana were taken by Hanuman to the presence of Sugriva, so Hanuman introduced both Rama and Lakshmana to Sugriva. So what Sugriva does is he offers a asana, a seat for Ramachandra to sit, but he neglects to offer proper respects to Lakshmana. Sugriva does not offer respects to Lakshmana. And very nearby, so Hanuman notices this, and immediately Hanuman arranges for a asana for Lakshmana. So this is actually a Vaishnava aparadha that was performed by Sugriva. He offered respects to the Lord, but he neglected to worship or to offer suitable respects to the greatest devotee, Lakshmana. So Ramachandra noticed this, and here when he went to challenge Vali for the first time, he makes him realize that because you have not taken blessings of Lakshmana, who is actually Balarama. He is the Adi Guru. He is the representative of all the original spiritual master. Without the blessings of the spiritual master, one cannot approach the Lord and gain his favor. Lord Ramachandra taught this first time by making him fail in the battle, and second time, Ramachandra specifically tells Lakshmana to get a garland and offer to Sugriva. Why? Because if Lakshmana has to offer a garland to Sugriva, Sugriva has to bow down in front of Lakshmana to receive that garland. By bowing down in front of Lakshmana, his Vaishnava aparadha will get nullified. In this way, he becomes free from the offense of ignoring or disrespecting Lakshmana, and then he will be ready to receive the protection or the mercy of the Lord. So, this is a very important lesson that we have to learn, right? So, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittete Kariyo Aikya Aruna Kariho Mane Asha. We sing this song every day. Our only desire should be that our consciousness becomes purified by the words spoken by the spiritual master. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Only when we take shelter at the lotus feet of the spiritual master, which are an abode of pure devotional service, we can actually attain Krishna's mercy. Now, this is depicted in this particular instance of Sugriva's failure in the first instance, and in the second attempt, Ramachandra makes Sugriva nullify the offense that he had performed against Lakshmana by not respecting him earlier and bowing down, making him bow down in front of Lakshmana. So, this is a very important principle that we can never achieve the favor of Lord Rama without first receiving the blessings of Lakshmana. We cannot achieve the favor of Krishna without actually getting the blessings of Lord Balarama. And that is why we offer our respects to Krishna and Balarama. Balarama is the original spiritual master. Text 68. So here it is said, with a single arrow, Ramachandra killed Vali. Now, many people have doubts in this particular incident. One few doubts we have already clarified it before. Now, they say that some people say, since Ramachandra, hiding behind the bushes, he shot an arrow and killed Vali. Therefore, Ramachandra got a sinful reaction for this. And therefore, again, when he appeared in Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna was shot an arrow at his toe by a hunter. And in this way, Krishna faced the consequences of his sinful activity of killing Sugriva in the past life. Now, this is not at all true, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is described as Apapa Vittham. Apapa Vittham means no sin can touch the Supreme Lord. This is very important. The laws of karma do not apply to the Supreme Lord whenever he comes to this material world and performs any activities. Krishna explains this in the Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma cha me divyam. So, the activities of the Lord and his appearance in this material world, they are all spiritual. They are all enacted on the transcendental platform. They do not attract any kind of sinful reactions like our activities. Our activities, when they are pious, we get punya. When we do sinful activities, we get papa reactions. But these things do not apply to the activities of Ramachandra. So we should never do the mistake of thinking that, oh, Vali came back again as the hunter Jara in the Dwapar Yuga and he took revenge against Krishna. No, this is not at all supported in the scriptures. It is not at all explained in this way by the bona fide acharyas. In fact, as I mentioned, happily Vali gave up his body, and when he got to know that he was killed by Ramachandra, he felt himself very fortunate. So this is the point. Then you may ask, why is this such a thing happened? Why did Krishna Krishna's disappearance pastime happened in that way that a hunter came and shot an arrow at his foot. Yes, that is explained in the Bhagavatam that there are people in this material world who consider Krishna to be an ordinary person. And Krishna, he is equal to all. For a devotee of the Lord, devotee has no doubt about the greatness of Krishna, right? Whereas people in this material world, they have doubts about Krishna. They do not accept Krishna's supremacy. So, in order to give an evidence to those people that, yes, yes, what I was thinking is correct, Krishna is an ordinary person, Krishna performed such a Leela. Because whatever faith one has, Krishna strengthens that faith. He's equal to everybody. The materialistic people think Krishna is an ordinary person, and to boost their thinking, to give them more evidence that to think that Krishna is an ordinary person, Krishna performed this kind of a Leela. This is what is explained by the Acharyas. That Lord who was able to counter the poison offered by Putana when he was just a small baby, was he not able to counter the poisonous arrow shot by Jara, the hunter, at him? Was he not capable of doing it? He was definitely capable. He could have countered that arrow of Jara, right? He killed so many demons, he countered the poison offered by Putana. So was it impossible for the Lord if he wanted to counter the arrow of Jara? No, it was not at all impossible. It was very much possible. But then the Lord performed such Leela to give a negative evidence to the demoniac people who consider that Krishna is an ordinary person. They say that, see, all this while I was telling Krishna is an ordinary person, see how he gave up his body like an ordinary person. The, the materialistic people will think like this. And to make them bewildered like this, Krishna performed such Leelas. And also, when devotees hear such kind of a Leela, devotees have the right understanding and they don't get bewildered. Only the demoniac people get bewildered. So that is the understanding. Text 68. Tata Sugriva Vachana Dhatva Valina Mahave Sugrivam Eva Tadrajye Raghava Pratyapadayat. Then, hearing Sugriva's words, Raghava, Ramachandra, killed Vali during his fight with Sugriva. And he enthroned Sugriva as the sole king of Vali's kingdom. So, in this way, Ramachandra fulfilled the promise of friendship that he had given to Sugriva. So, during the time of Agni Sakshi, when they actually vowed friendship of each other, so Ramachandra had promised that don't worry, you will surely be the king of Kishkinda. That is my responsibility. And now Ramachandra fulfilled his vow. So we see whenever Lord Ramachandra gives a vow, a promise to anybody, he makes sure that it is fulfilled. So the Acharyas also explain another interesting angle to this particular incident, right? There is one name of Ramachandra, Sugrivepsita Rajyadaya Namaha. In the Krishna Ashtottara, we see Yudhishthira Pratishthatre Namaha. And here, in this Rama Ashtottara, we see Lord Ramachandra gave the kingdom to Sugriva. And Krishna made Yudhishthira as the king, right? So, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. O Arjuna, declare it to the world boldly that my devotee shall never perish. One who has unflinching faith in me, confidence in my protection, I will make sure that I will give him all kinds of protection at all times. This is the promise of the Supreme Lord. And you see here how to become a devotee of the Lord. We can become devotee of the Lord by taking shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord. Right? Taking shelter of the Lord means to take shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord. So Sugriva took shelter of Hanuman, whereas Vali ignored the words and instructions of Hanuman. Since Hanuman favored Sugriva, therefore Ramachandra also favored Sugriva. And since Vali ignored the instructions, the good lessons, good instructions that Hanuman was trying to tell him, Vali ignored him. Therefore, Ramachandra also ignored him. So, yes, so that is the meaning of that we sing every day that if the spiritual master is satisfied, then Krishna is satisfied. If the spiritual master is not satisfied, then Krishna is not satisfied. There is no way to satisfy him. So that is another explanation offered by the Acharyas. Since Hanuman favored Sugriva, therefore Ramachandra also favored Sugriva. So wherever there is Hanuman, there is Rama's blessings. And wherever Ramachandra is glorified and his katha is heard and chanted, there Hanuman is also present. So this is the understanding. So if we want Ramachandra to favor us, then we have to follow in the footsteps of Hanuman, who was Rama Seva Dhurandhara, who was always interested, eager, absorbed in serving Ramachandra. We should also render service to Ramachandra, then we get the blessings of Hanuman. By the blessings of Hanuman, we get the complete blessings of Ramachandra. Text 69. Sacha sarvan samaniya vanarshabha disha prasthapayamasa didrukshur janakatmajam. Now it is the turn of Sugriva to keep up his promise. Rama has done his part by helping him regain his kingdom. Now it is Sugriva's turn to keep up his friendship to help Rama find out Mother Sita. So here it is said, and the king of the monkeys, Sugriva, then called all of his monkeys, Vanaras, and sent them in all the four directions, desirous of finding Janaka's daughter. Right? So he instructed them, quickly find Sita and inform me. Actually, before this, another incident happens. So Sugriva was coronated. Lakshmana actually goes to coronate Sugriva because Ramachandra says, I am in Vanavasa Vrata. I cannot enter the kingdom. I cannot enter palace. Therefore, I will send my brother Lakshmana on my behalf. He will do the Rajyabhisheka for you. So Lakshmana performed the Rajyabhisheka for Sugriva. And after that, for the next 4 months, there was Chaturmasya, rainy season. And during the rainy season, it is not proper to go out and it is not suitable for the Vanara soldiers to go and search for Sita. So Ramachandra said, after the 4 months of rainy season, you please send your soldiers to find about Sita. So Sugriva also said, okay. Now, meanwhile, what happened? Sugriva got carried away by all the luxuries and pleasures that he was able to enjoy in the palace. He got carried away and he forgot about his commitment to Rama. So 4 months of Chaturmasya was completed, but there was no news from Sugriva. So Ramachandra becomes angry and he sends Lakshmana. Of course, Ramachandra's anger is sattvic anger. He sends Lakshmana. He says, see, this person has forgotten his duty. Now you should go and speak in such a way that his illusion of sense enjoyment will be lost. He will forget and he will return to his real duty. So Lakshmana goes on behalf of Ramachandra. Lakshmana goes in a very furious way and he chastises Sugriva. He says, see, all the luxuries that you are enjoying today, it is because of the blessings of my brother Rama. Now you have forgotten him and you are absorbed in sense enjoyment. Why did you forget your vow? When will you go and search Mother Sita? In this way, very strongly he spoke. And then by the words of Lakshmana and also by the words of Hanuman and Jambavan, Sugriva comes back to his senses. He realizes his mistake. He begs forgiveness. and then he sends his soldiers in all the four directions to search for Mother Sita. Now, this is a very important lesson for us. We get so many blessings from the Lord. We get this material body, we get so much of wealth and our relatives and so many facilities. Now, instead of using all of this in serving the Lord, we forget about the Lord and we become so much absorbed in material enjoyment. And at that time, it is the spiritual master who comes and tells us that what are you doing? You're supposed to actually engage in Krishna's service. You're engaging in sense gratification. So, by the words of the spiritual master, our illusion is gone and our real knowledge is awakened. And then we engage in devotional service to the Lord. So, here, Sugriva represents the conditioned souls, all of us, and Lakshmana is the spiritual master, and Hanuman and Jambavan and others who advised Sugriva, they're all devotees of the Lord who appeal to us every now and then. Why don't you render service to the Lord? So we have to take lessons that we should not become like Sugriva, being absorbed in material pleasures, but we should always be conscious of our eternal position that we are servant of the Lord. Text 70. Tato ghrdrasya vachanat sampater hanuman bali shatayojana vistirnam papluve lavanarnavam. Then, on the instructions of the vulture, Gridra, Sampati, the strong monkey Hanuman jumped across the salt ocean that extended to 100 yojanas. So, actually, different people go to different directions searching for Mother Sita, and only Hanuman's party goes towards the south, and only to Hanuman does Ramachandra give his finger ring. He gives the ring, Mudrika, and he says, this will enable you to identify yourself as my representative. When Mother Sita asks, show this ring, right? So that means Lord already knew that Hanuman would be successful in finding Mother Sita, right? So he gave the Mudrika. So they go and they reach the southern ocean, and all the Vanaras who had accompanied Hanuman, in the party of Hanuman, there were Angada, there was Angada, there was Jambavan, and Hanuman, Jambavan, and Angada, and other Vanaras were all there. So when they reach the southernmost point and see the ocean, they all become very, very hopeless. Oh, forget it. It is not possible to cross the ocean, right? And at that time, they meet Sampati, who is actually a vulture, a Gridra, a vulture who is there. And all the Vanaras would be talking about Jatayu, who died giving up his life while protecting Mother Sita. And Sampati, who was old, he was lying down there on the ocean beach. He overhears about Jatayu and he says, Jatayu was my brother. What happened? And then they all narrate. And then Sampati says, see, I am very old now. If I was young, I would have actually crossed this ocean and I would have gone and found Mother Sita. But I am very old, but I have one good advantage. I have a very sharp eyesight. So from here, I am able to see Mother Sita sitting in the Ashoka Vatika on the other side of the ocean in Lanka, and she is there. So he gives a hope. And then Jambavan reminds Hanuman of all his powers, and then Hanuman assumes a gigantic form, says Jai Shri Ram, and in one leap, he crosses the Shata Yojana Samudra, the 100 Yojana Samudra, the ocean. He crosses, he leaps in one giant leap, and he actually reaches Lanka. This is just a summary. There are many, many details within this, but due to paucity of time, we are just talking about the summary and important lessons that we can understand from all these incidents. Text 71. Tatra Lankam Samasadhya Purim Ravana Palitam Dadarsha Sitam Dhyayantim Ashokavanikam Gatam. Hanuman reached Lanka, the city protected by Ravana, and saw Sita, who had gone to Ashokavana, there meditating on Lord Rama. So actually, Hanuman finds out Mother Sita, and Ravana would have captured her, and kept her in the Ashoka Vatika. And what was Mother Sita doing? She was constantly meditating on Rama, right? Uh, she was always thinking about Rama. This is a very important quality. When we are in difficulty, we generally forget the Lord. But Mother Sita is teaching us, you may be in any difficult circumstance, never forget the Lord. Always remember the Lord. And the Lord will surely send some help, right? Just like Lord sent Hanuman to rescue Mother Sita, to find about the whereabouts of Mother Sita. So she was always thinking. Text 72. निवेदयित्वाभिजज्ञानं प्रवृत्तिं च निवेद्य च समाश्वासास्य च वैदेहीं मर्दयाम आसतोरणम. Hanuman submitted a token of recognition to Mother Sita, related to her and related to her the events that transpired and so on, and consoled her. Then he destroyed the gate of Ashokavana. So Hanumanji, he saw Mother Sita lamenting, even though the garden in which Mother Sita was sitting was called Ashokavana, but because of separation from Ramachandra, Sita Devi was filled with shoka, lamentation. She was lamenting, and she was also meditating on Rama, thinking about Rama. She was sitting there alone under the tree, and Hanuman goes there. First of all, he offers his respects, and then he shows the Rama Mudrika, the finger ring given by Ramachandra. And then he also narrates certain incidents which only Rama and Sita knew. Ramachandra also had told these about these incidents to Hanuman before, and he narrated all those things. This gave confidence in Sita that this Hanuman was indeed sent by her Lord Ramachandra. Panchasenagragan hatva saptamantri sutanapi shuram aksham cha nishpishya grahanam samupagamat. So Hanuman, he actually destroyed the Ashoka Vatika, and he also started feasting on the fruits that were available in Ashoka Vatika, and he also killed certain demons who came to attack him. That is what is talked about here. Hanuman killed 5 frontline soldiers and 7 ministers' sons, headed by Jambu Mali. He also crushed the heroic Akshakumara, who was actually Ravana's youngest son. Akshakumara was killed by Hanuman. And Hanuman himself became arrested by the Brahmastra employed by the elder son of Ravana, that is Indrajit. Even though Hanuman could easily counter Brahmastra, but he wanted to actually go inside and find out who is this Ravana, and he wanted to find out some more details about Ravana. So therefore, he voluntarily got bound by the Brahmastra Pasha of ropes of Brahmastra employed by Indrajit, or also known as Meghanada, the elder son of Ravana. And then he goes inside and he is presented in front of Ravana. Let's see what happened next. Text 74 and 75. Astrenonmukta atmanam jnatva paitamahadvarat marshayan rakshasan viro yantrinastan yadrichaya tato dagdva purim lankam rute sitam cha maithilim ramaya priyamakyatum punarayan mahakapihi. The heroic great monkey Hanuman got to know that he was released from Brahmastra by Brahma's boon with no effort from his end, forgiving the offenses of the Rakshasas who had tied him up and who were dragging him here and there. He burnt the city of Lanka. accept the residence of the princess of Mithila, Mother Sita, and returned to inform Rama of the good news about Sita. So you see here, in a very summary form, in a short form, it is described. So Hanuman was brought in front of Ravana, and Ravana tried to insult Hanuman by trying to burn his uh, tail. So what did Hanuman do? He expanded his tail and he burnt the entire Lanka, except for two places actually. One is the Ashok Vatika, where Mother Sita was seated. He carefully did not burn that, was conscious of that. He was also careful not to burn the palace of Vibhishana, because Vibhishana was also a great devotee of the Lord. Except for these two places, the entire Lanka was burnt by Hanuman. So the Swarna Lanka, the golden Lanka, was burnt by Hanuman. Srila Prabhupada explains that this is an example of how a devotee uses his anger in the service of the Lord. Instead of using anger without any reason, or without control, a pure devotee of the Lord like Hanuman, he uses his anger to actually cause harm to the demons who are always against the Lord and his devotees. So, this is an example that Hanuman, how he's teaching us the right way, the right usage of anger. We have five more verses we will discuss. About 10 more minutes we will need. Text 76. Sobhigamya mahatmanam kritva ramam pradakshinam न्यवेदयेद् ameyaatma drishta siteti tattvataha. That one of immeasurable intelligence, Hanuman, submissively approached the great enduring Rama and went around him in circumambulation, pradakshina. Then he informed him, I really saw Sita. It's a very interesting thing. So Hanuman comes back and he gives the good news to Rama. By that time, the three other parties who had gone in north, east, and western directions to search for Mother Sita, they had all come back unsuccessful. They had given the bad news that they could not find Mother Sita. So Rama was actually waiting for Hanuman to return. His only hopes lied in Rama. So when Rama was like this waiting, here it is said, uh, he Ameyatma, Rama is described here as Ameyatma. Hanuman is described here as Ameyatma. Ameya means immeasurable. Atma means, a great person. One who has immeasurable intelligence. Here, Atma refers to intelligence. One who has unlimited or great intelligence. So, Hanuman was conscious that so far Rama had heard the bad news three times. Now, if I start describing all the details of my journey and adventure, how I went to Lanka and all of that, so Rama, who is already waiting impatiently to hear the good news, he will grow more impatient. Therefore, I should first of all speak in such a way that by my first word that I utter, Rama should feel very happy. So, in a concise way, to the point, Hanuman told this. What did he say? Drishta Sita iti. Drishta Sita. I saw Sita. Drishta came first. Drishta means I saw. I saw Sita. Sita was seen by me. I saw. And as soon as Ramachandra heard this, Ramachandra's heart was filled with happiness. And immediately he embraces Hanuman. You've done a great seva. You've done a great service to me. Thank you so much. And then he starts asking, how is Sita? What is all the details later Hanuman describes. So from this we understand service to the Lord should always be done understanding the mood, the mood of the Lord. What is the Lord's desire? According to that I have to serve. Not that I serve whatever I want to do. That is not service. Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam Bhaktir Uttama. Uttama Bhakti means to favorably serve the Lord. Favorably means what the Lord wants, I should do that. Right? That is more important. So, to please the Lord, what gives pleasure to the Lord, let me do that. Right? So, even though Hanuman is a great scholar, he is a Navavyakarana Pandita, but still he constructed a grammatically incorrect sentence. He spoke a grammatically incorrect sentence. He said, Drushta Devi iti, Drushta Sita. First he told, saw Sita, I, in this way, which is grammatically not correct. First, always the subject comes, right? I saw Sita should have come first. The object comes later. The verb comes later. But he started his sentence with a verb, drishta, saw. I saw Sita. So that by hearing this good news that Sita was seen by Rama, by Hanuman, Ramachandra will be very happy. So this is a very important lesson. And that is why Hanuman is called the emblem of devotional service. He is the one who perfected the Dasya Bhakti, right? Among all the Navavida Bhakti, Dasya Bhakti was perfected by Hanuman. So if we want to learn how to serve the Lord, we must learn from the behavior of Hanuman. Text 77. Tata Sugriva Sahito Gatva Tiram Mahodadhehe Samudram Shobhayamasa Sharairaditya Sannibhaihi. Then Rama went to the shores of the great ocean with Sugriva and agitated the ocean with arrows that shone like the sun. So here, in detail, it is described in the Yuddha Kanda. From here, the Yuddha Kanda begins actually. So after getting to know that Sita was in the Lanka, and it was important that Ramachandra and all the Vanara soldiers had to cross over the ocean, and for that, Ramachandra came, sat down on the ocean bed, on the ocean shore, and he started meditation. He performed meditation. He wanted to request Varuna, the ocean demigod, to give way to Rama and all the soldiers to go to Lanka. So 3 days, no response. So fourth day, Rama becomes angry. He displays his pastime of anger, and he shoots, he aims an arrow at the ocean, and immediately the ocean personified comes and begging for protection. And then let's see what happened. दर्शयामास चात्मानं समुद्रसरितां पतिः समुद्रवचनाच्चैव नलं सेतुम् अकारयत्. Samudra, the ocean presiding deity, and the husband of the presiding goddesses of the rivers, then showed his original form to Rama. On the request of Samudra, Rama had Nala build a bridge. So Samudra said, I'm so sorry, I am an inert matter. I am dumb. I could not realize that what is your desire. So that's why I could not come on the very first day. I'm so sorry. Now you please do not shoot an arrow at me. I am your devotee. Please give me protection. So then Ramachandra becomes, he becomes peaceful. He's pacified by the prayers offered by Samudra. And then Samudra Deva says that, see, in your army, there is one person called Nala, and he is an expert engineer. He has engineering skills. So, with the help of Nala and Neela, the Vanaras, you please construct a bridge across me on my waters, and I shall personally support the bridge. So, in this way, he was told, Ramachandra was told by Samudra Deva, and Ramachandra began the construction of the bridge. Now, here we must understand Ramachandra, just by chanting the name of Rama, his devotee Hanuman was able to cross over the entire ocean in one giant leap. Was it impossible for Ramachandra to actually do the same? He could have, nothing is impossible for the Lord. He could also have crossed over the ocean just by jumping across the ocean. But he did not do so. for two reasons. First reason is he was playing the role of a human being. He was not using any of his transcendental powers. Second reason is he wanted to engage all the Vanaras in some devotional service. Therefore, he employed all the Vanaras to build this bridge. So it was an opportunity. Mercifully, the Lord gave all these Vanaras in the service of the Lord, to render service to the Lord. Text 79. Tena gatva purim lankam hatva ravanamahave Rama Sita manuprapya param vridam upagamat. Rama then went on the bridge to the city of Lanka, killed Ravana in battle, met Sita, and then became greatly embarrassed. Right? So, very interesting here. Very quickly, in this shloka, it is said Rama went across the ocean on the bridge constructed by the Vanaras, and then he went into the city, killed all the soldiers and whoever came to fight on behalf of Ravana on the battlefield. And finally, Rama killed Ravana also. And then, when he met Mother Sita, it is said here, Ramachandra became embarrassed. Param Vridam Upagamat. Vridam means he was not very comfortable. So, what was his apprehension? Ramachandra did not have any doubt about the greatness of Sita. He did not have any doubt about the character of Sita, but then he was embarrassed because the world will criticize. Oh, look at this Rama. How can he accept a woman who had stayed in somebody else's house? You see, Rama is not an ordinary person. He was a king. And the king, if he is, if ordinary people point out at the king's mistakes, then the king will not be in a position to dictate to the people. Nobody will take the king seriously. There is a saying in English, Caesar's wife should be above suspicion. If the king and the queen, they have to establish themselves really, that they are suitable to occupy the throne. They have to have such a pure track record. And nobody should be able to point out at the king and the queen. That is the understanding of king and queen in the Vedic culture. Not like today's leaders, the ministers, who are all involved in so many scams and they don't mind also. That is a degradation in Kali Yuga. But actually, Raja Pratyaksha Devaha, this is what the culture is in the Vedic culture. The king is said to be a representative of the Lord. Just like the Lord is all pure, the king had to show that he is free from all kinds of negativities, contaminations. Only then the citizens would actually get full confidence on the king and they would listen to the king and follow his instructions. So therefore here it is said, Ramachandra, even though he did not personally doubt Mother Sita, he was thinking, the world will point out at my wife. Look at this. She was living in somebody else's house for this one full year and our king has brought her. This is not at all correct. So Ramachandra wanted to do something about it. So what he did, last shloka for today, text 80. Tamuvacha tato Rama parusham jana samsadi amrishyamana sa sita vivesha jvalanam sati. Therefore, Rama spoke harsh words about her chastity in public. Unable to tolerate them, the chaste Sita entered fire. That means she gave Agni Pariksha. So, it was not that Rama, as I told again, Rama had no doubt on Mother Sita, but he spoke like that harshly in front of everybody in the public, and so that the whole public understands the great position of Mother Sita. Actually, in other words, there are two reasons for this Agni Pariksha. The first reason is, as I told yesterday, to regain the original Sita who was in the custody of Agni Deva, right? So, whom Ravana had actually kidnapped was Chaya Sita, that we have discussed yesterday. And Ramachandra wanted to regain the original Sita from Agni Deva, and that was a reason for this Agni Pariksha. The second reason was to glorify the greatness of Mother Sita, to glorify to the whole world, to show to the whole world how pure is Mother Sita. So that is the reason for Agni Pariksha. See, we understand that being a king is not a joke. And even though, so it was very painful personally for Ramachandra to speak such harshly about Mother Sita, but he had to do that to show to the world the credibility of Mother Sita. So, being in a big position, being a king is not a matter of simply enjoying royal comforts. It is a matter of setting the right standards of pure character to the whole world. That Lord Ramachandra did. Again and again, he demonstrated his pure character. He demonstrated the purity of Mother Sita to the whole world. It was not for his personal satisfaction at all. So, from this, Ramachandra is teaching. It's a big lesson to all the so called kings, leaders of this present age, that a king is accountable to the citizens. The leader is accountable about even his personal life should be like an open book in front of the citizens, right? And a king should set, the leader should set the highest standards of morality, highest character for in front of the citizens. Only then they will have credibility to make laws and to rule over the people. So this is how Ramachandra. Uh, these are some of the incidents that we plan to discuss today. So today, overall, more or less, we finished the Yuddha Kanda. The last 20 verses is about Ramarajya, how Lord Ramachandra ruled his kingdom. So that we will be discussing, not tomorrow, on Saturday. Saturday at around 8 o'clock, same time, we will all meet and discuss the last part of the synopsis of Ramayana given by Narad Muni to Valmiki Maharshi. So, with this, we come to the end of today's session. I thank all of you for your time. We shall meet again on Saturday. मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, सीता मैया की जय, महर्षि वाल्मीकि की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद
Jai.
की जय. हरे कृष्ण.
Jai.
Hare
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Jai
Prabhu.
Shri
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Some of you might be having
Krishna.
questions, but due to paucity of time, we may not be able to take questions today. We will take it on another occasion. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare